The time is 9 o'clock and you are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
Hello, this is Clinton Davis with your local CHMA News. A proposed housing development in Sackville is facing a key decision from Council, one that could determine whether the project moves forward as planned. But first, a local theater festival focused on original work is opening tonight in Sackville. It's the Marsh Light New Works Festival, presented by Marsh Light Theatre Company, and it runs from March 20th to the 29th at the company's Black Box Theatre on Fairfield Road. The festival features new plays, staged readings, and youth productions, giving emerging playwrights and performers a chance to present original work to a live audience. Organizers say the festival has become a key part of the local art scene, supporting the development of new theater in the Tantramar region. And now for our feature story. And we're still on Fairfield Road. A housing project first proposed in 2023 says they've now secured the funding, but are also at a critical point. The Fresh Winds Eco Village Housing Cooperative plans to build dozens of affordable housing units on Fairfield Road in Sackville. Council approved the rezoning for the project in 2024, allowing higher density housing on the site. The proposal centers on a property at 64 Fairfield Road. It's designed as a non-profit housing cooperative offering a mix of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. And in last week's council meeting, they have been asked to approve changes to that original plan. Changes developers say are necessary to secure funding and move the project forward. The latest version of the plan increases the number of units from 62 to 68, adds an additional apartment building, and shifts the housing mix toward 4-unit buildings instead. Sam Durand is a planner with Plan 360. Durand told Council the project itself has already been approved, but the updated design requires another decision.
So there is some history to this property. It was rezoned in 2024 by Council from R1 to R3 to allow a higher density residential use.
Durand says the changes are significant enough that Council must formally approve a variation to the original rezoning conditions.
The changes were significant enough that it required an amendment to the resolution of that rezoning agreement. So that's why the application is back before Council to review and ultimately approve those changes.
Again, the Fresh Winds project had been in development since 2023, with organizers working through planning approvals, funding applications, and design changes. Sabina Dietz is co-chair of the Fresh Winds Eco Village Housing Cooperative. Dietz says the project has required sustained effort.
Blood and sweat for 3 years.
The project has secured multiple sources of early funding and support, including municipal incentives and provincial backing. But developers say the current change is tied directly to federal funding requirements.
So this variance application that you have in front of you, is just a very small change for us, which we needed to make in order to submit an application for federal funding. But it is essential for us to make sure that the project is viable in the long term.
Dietz says the cooperative model is central to the project's goals.
This is a cooperative development and a non-profit development, and there is no for-profit, no profit going to any individual.
The project has received significant community support, particularly around the need for affordable housing. Bill Barrows is the chair of the Marsh Winds Housing Cooperative, Sackville's existing co-op housing development, around now for 20 years. Barrows told Council the model has already proven successful locally.
I just really want to say I can't think of any reason why you should not have a second cooperative. It is sustainable. I choose to live there because I like the living style. I enjoy the style of living and working with other people in the cooperative. It's not for everyone, but it is for a lot of people.
One resident speaking at the public hearing also highlighted the scale of the project's potential impact.
Fresh Winds is the only nonprofit housing project underway in our region and will offer the biggest influx of truly affordable units for local residents in several decades.
That same unnamed speaker echoed Sabina Dietz' comment that the outcome of the council's decision could determine whether the project moves forward. After all speakers presented, council members expressed both support and concerns during the hearing. Councillor Bruce Finney voiced strong support, pointing to past efforts to expand co-op housing in the region.
I'm in support of this because it's something we dearly need. There's no doubt about that. So I wish you all the best, and I hope it works out.
However, Councillor Barry Hicks raised concerns about infrastructure, specifically the private road planned for the development.
The only thing I don't agree with is it doesn't have a street into it up to municipal standards and not turned over to the municipality after to maintain and everything.
Besides the street in question, brought up by Councillor Hicks, a nearby resident also raised concerns about how the development would affect neighboring properties. Charlie Harvey lives on Fairfield Road and asked council to ensure a fence is included along the property line.
I sent a letter around asking for a fence to be installed. I understand that there will be a fence installed.
Developers say they are willing to work with neighbors, and the updated plan includes a fence along part of the site. At its core, the decision before council is not about whether housing should be built on the site that was approved in 2024. Instead, council must decide whether to allow for changes that developers say are necessary to secure funding and keep the project viable. March 10th's meeting was the public hearing, and council is expected to vote on the proposed changes in the future. Well, I'm Clinton Davis with your local CHMA News here in Tantramar.
Hello, this is Duncan, host of Duncan's Donuts on CITR 101.9 FM from Vancouver, BC, home of Nardwuar the Human Serviette and many other radio luminaries. And you are listening to CHMA in Sackville, 106.9 FM.
Hi, I'm Marley, and you're listening to CHMA.
Here is your CHMA Atlantic update. Police say the hackers behind a blackmail attempt on a member of the Nova Scotia legislature were trying to extort Bitcoin. RCMP say Hammonds Plains Lucasville MLA Rick Burns contacted them Tuesday about a hack on his computer, and Mounties have been working with the Halifax Regional Police's Digital Forensic Unit. They declined to say if the hackers were international or domestic actors, only revealing that it's part of an ongoing investigation. Burns says criminals hacked his email this week and requested money, which his family refused to pay. A portion of a major thoroughfare in eastern Nova Scotia was closed for hours this morning after a multi-vehicle collision. Cape Breton Regional Police say a section of Grand Lake Road was shut down just before 9 a.m. The affected portion was between the Mayflower Mall and Gardner Road. Police say that as of 2 p.m., the roadway had reopened, but didn't disclose any details of the incident. New Brunswick is set to transfer its veterinary field services to the private sector over the next 3 years. The province says the transition will bring more responsive, flexible services to the agricultural community. Typical field services include on-site mobile medical care for livestock, horses, and other agricultural animals at farms, ranches, or stables. The province says it will maintain the Chief Veterinary Officer position to ensure continued oversight of disease management and animal welfare in collaboration with the New Brunswick Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals and the federal government. Mounties in New Brunswick are no longer seeking a vehicle they believed may have been involved in a fatal hit-and-run in Swan Creek. Oromocto RCMP say they are no longer looking for a blue car, initially believed to be a 2016 Mitsubishi Lancer. However, they still want to speak with anyone who is traveling on Route 2 at approximately 9:40 p.m. on March 17th. Yesterday, police said a 19-year-old driver from Norden died after two vehicles traveling eastbound on Route 2 collided Tuesday night. The government of Newfoundland and Labrador is set to build a new school in Conception Bay North, replacing a school that was destroyed by fire last year. The province says an assessment is underway, and they are looking at enrollment projections, programming requirements, and possible site remediation. After an environmental assessment, construction work is expected to start in 2027. It will replace Cabot Academy in Western Bay, which was destroyed by fire in August 2025. A popular tour company in Halifax has been sold. A long-standing shareholder in Ambassador's Grey Line will purchase the company from Dennis Campbell, who founded it almost 40 years ago. Campbell said he was pleased the next chapter will be led by Sean Buckland, who knows this company so well. Campbell says he'll remain involved in the business as an advisor to support Buckland for a few years. And that has been your CHMA Atlantic update.
And here's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update.
Last night in the final of the first four games for the NCAA March Madness that begins today, the number 11 Miami Redhawks defeat to SMU 89-79 to advance to the Big Field of 64, and the Prairie View A&M squad defeats Lehigh 67-55 to set up their day with number 1 seed Duke. Continuing with basketball, it was the Boston Celtics with a 120-99 victory over the Golden State Warriors at home. Thunder defeated the Nets by 29 on the road, 121-92. The Blazers defeat the Pacers 127-119. The Toronto Raptors with a 30-point win over the Chicago Bulls in the United Center, 139-109. Timberwolves all over the Jazz with a 147-111 victory. Pelicans defeat the visiting Los Angeles Clippers, 124-109. It was the Hawks by 15, 135-120 over the Dallas Mavericks on the road. The Denver Chicken Nuggets, they lose to the Memphis Grizzlies in Tennessee, 125-118. And finally, it was the Los Angeles Lakers in a back-to-back defeating the Houston Rockets, 124-116. As the NHL season winds down, half dozen games yesterday, the Devils defeat the Rangers 6-3 on the road. It was overtime for the Carolina Hurricanes defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-5. Washington with a 4-1 victory over the Ottawa Senators at home. Took a shootout for the Stars to get past the Colorado Avalanche 2-1 final there. Shootout happened in the Saddle Dome where the Flames defeat the visiting St. Louis Blues 2-1. And in overtime, it was the Philadelphia Flyers over the Anaheim Ducks 3-2 final in that one. And finally, in the PWHL, it was the Vancouver Golden Eyes defeating the New York Sirens 5-2. And in the local high school volleyball action, Bonaire Law Memorial School defeats the Tantramar Titans 2-1 in boys volleyball.
And that's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Please be sure to check out Brian's show on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. for more sports commentary.
Hi, I'm Macrina from the Mount Allison women's rugby team, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM.
Mike Trask and Sam Salmon are coming to Queen's Lake for a special show on Saturday, March 21st. Mike brings his signature East Coast blend of country, blues, and folk, while Sam joins forces with Keith Hallett on lap steel for a stripped-back set of songs from Down for Life. Door open at 7 p.m. and music starts at 7:30 at 16 Charles Street in Sackville. Tickets are $22 and are now available on Queen's Lake website.
The Sackville Cinematheque is excited to screen Beau Travail, French director Claire Denis' searing post-colonial masterpiece about discipline and desire among French soldiers stationed in the African nation of Djibouti. The screening will take place at the Owens Art Gallery, located at 61 York Street, 7 p.m. on March 27th. That's 7 p.m., March 27th, 61 York Street. For more information, please visit www.sackvillecinematheque.com. See you there. Community Bingo Night at TRHS on March 27th, 2026, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join in for a night full of prizes, fun, and competition. Doors open at 5 p.m. The games begin at 6 p.m. Go on, take a look and see who shouts bingo first. Please note, this is a 19-plus event. The Sackville Community Garden is inviting everyone to celebrate spring by participating in the Seedy Saturday event on March 28th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The highlights are going to include the seed swap, where you can bring your surplus vegetable, fruits, flowers, and herb seeds to share and trade with others, and the houseplant swap, where you bring your indoor plant babies and cuttings to share, trade with others who bring plants too. Also, there'll be the community garden info and registration. You can learn about the community garden, sign up for a plot for the 2026 growing season, sign up for a brand new membership. So come on in, stay a while, catch up, meet new people, and chat everything plant related. All plants and people are welcome. This is at 21 Bridge Street. That's the space right next to the Ducks Aren't Real Dinette. Hope to see you there.
Hey folks, if you're looking for something different to do in March, do not miss out on This Is a Play, which is running from March 26th to March 28th at 7:30 p.m. at the Mortier Fancy Theatre in the Purdy Crawford Center for the Arts. This is a part of the student showcase, and this production brings 2 one-act plays to the stage. The tickets are just $5 and available now through Ticket Owl. For more information, you can email drama@mta.ca. Hey folks, if you're looking for a fun and creative way to spend your Sunday, the Make Something Sunday program is now back with freestyle weaving. This is a hands-on workshop where kids 12 and under, along with their grown-ups, can play with weaving in a whole new way. This includes mixing yarn, fabric strips, and recycled treasures along with colorful beads to create their own one-of-a-kind textile artwork. So head down there on Sunday, April 19th at the Owens Art Gallery from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. This program is offered free of charge and requires no booking, so mark your calendars.
And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantjamar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com.
Playing the latest new electro-pop tracks, Cool Pop brings you the best new pop music from around the world. Tune into Cool Pop every Wednesday at 6 p.m. on CHMA 106.9 FM.
You are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, Voice of the Marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and this is the Late Morning Show. Today is Friday, March 20th, and I hope you are having a wonderful morning. We have lots of music to get into, so let's dive right in. First up, we have Georgia Harmer with Take It On, and Big Thief with Double Infinity.
This time listening, you would think I'd pick up something other than all this language of conflict. All this time talking, you would think I'd pick up something other than all this childish nonsense. I'm so irresistibly young. I will never belong. I will never belong. I'm so undeniably
That was Big Thief with Double Infinity on CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, Voice of the Marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and you are listening to The Late Morning Show, and we also listened to Take It On by Georgia Harmer. Next up, we have Jenny Huval with To Be a Rose and Synthetic Friend with Potion Seller.
Now imagine a stage decorated with intention. This stage is obviously literally falling apart. A rose is a rose is a rose is a cigarette. The stage is now decorated with cigarette smoke from 100, no, from 1,000 mouths in synchrony. This is every cigarette my mother ever smoked. Dream into